So let's look at an event. Let's pull up something fun here. Let's pull up this Christmas decorating event. So this is an event that's already happened in the past, but just to show you some ways that Event Scheduler can help you get on the same page, get that communication clear, concise, and organizationally adopted. That's one of the keys is when you use Event Scheduler, you have an opportunity to introduce consistent language across your organization. So everybody's speaking the same language. If we're calling, for instance, if we're calling a room 5 different things, and that means 5 different things by other people, eSPACE Event Scheduler gives you a chance to name that one thing. And not only is that room then known by everybody and the actual name of the room is known by everybody, gosh, if you think of how far in advance that can be used, it allows you to deliver that information quickly to first responders if an emergency happens. So just think about the full range there, okay? So on the details tab, you have some information that can be locked in. This is where you're going to put in your main event details: who, what, where, when, why, right? The event name, the description of the event, when the event starts, when it ends. Do we need to allow time for setup or room recovery? That's a big one. How often is the event happening? Don't input that event every single week. If this is a weekly event, let the system update that for you. We have lots of options to build recurrence rules for you. So this one is set to be weekly on Thursday. You can choose other options. We even have a custom occurrence option. Y'all, I love this. This is one of my most favorite features of Event Scheduler because a lot of calendaring software does not have this. We looked at one just this week for scheduling webinars for 2024. If we were able to go through and pick and choose specific dates that we wanted to have an event, it would make it so much easier. This custom recurrence feature is going to allow you to do that. It goes all the way out for 12 months. You can even go further if you need to. If you're super organized and you have your dates locked in, your key dates locked in for 2025, you can go forward and select any that you need to in the future. Super, super helpful. You also have other options like weekly, monthly, annually. Those are all going to be based on the event start date that you put in ahead of time. So another cool way, let the system do some heavy lifting for you, okay? Remove that burden of having to go back and do duplicate entries or repetitive entry. You also have some ways to filter out event details to your public calendar. If you want to make an event public, we have a public calendar option. What that means is that you can select specific events to feed out to your website, to put a calendar that's going to be forward facing on your website, that's going to be based on your events created right here in Event Scheduler. And you can pick and choose what you would like to have filter out to that calendar if you want. It's one of the features we have in Event Scheduler. A lot of people love it. Not only that, but you do have the option to put some content in to promote your event, like notes, links. If you need to put an external link for registration or to purchase a resource, you have the ability to do that. You can even put a graphic in if you need to for promotional reasons. And all that's going to feed to your public facing website if you incorporate that calendar to the website. Lots of other things you can do. Again, I talked about categories earlier. You can assign more than one category to events. It's going to really help organize that and classify all of your events. You have the ability to put in the number of people for every event. You can make this a requirement too. If you want to put that safeguard in place so you know how many people to expect all the time, you can turn things like categories and number of people on as requirements. Really going to help you lock in some of those details and force those details to be put in on the front end so we don't have to keep going back and revisiting things, right? That takes time. Once you have your main event details in, there's other options with event creation that are going to help you. You can put contact information in. Again, you can make that a requirement if you want to. The items tab, that's where your spaces, resources, and services are going to live. Again, spaces are where your event's going to happen. Resources are movable objects like tables and chairs. Okay, they can be moved space to space, room to room. You can even build forms or create these for offsite events. If you have a regular need for people to borrow tables, chairs, things like that from your organization, you can create event requests to keep track of those. Very helpful. helpful. No more replacing 10 missing tables at the end of the year, to the tune of about $1,000. Can I get an amen on that? I know that those tables literally sprout legs and walk away sometimes. If you can track them this way, it allows you to at least see who had them last and be able to chase that down if you need to. Services, again, that's who's going to provide that level of support to your event. Tech support, childcare, food services, maybe funeral or wedding coordinators can all be tagged into your event. They can be brought into the loop. They will not only know the event is happening, they have the option to approve their part of the event. So they can tell you right away on the front end, yes, I can cover tech for this event. No, I'm actually not able to. So the event maybe needs to be moved. So just an opportunity for you to loop everybody into that event and get everybody on the same page. With your spaces, there's a host of options you can include. Now, I've got a lot of bells and whistles turned on in my account. If you have Event Scheduler, you have the opportunity to do this too. So you can do things like assign tags to spaces. Those are usually fixed assets within a room. It could be a style, the way that the room is the ability to set a room up a specific way. I lost my words there for a second, forgive me. So if a room can be set up in a gathering style or presenter style, you can let people know that option is there. If there's other fixed assets in the room, like a TV on the wall, here's some other tags, lots of them here. If there's a projector in the room and a pull down screen, if the room has a counter and a sink in it, a lot of these things need to have be part of an event when somebody's requesting space. And this allows them to see everything right on the main screen. The other option with tags is they have the ability to filter. So if they're looking for a space and they really need to find a room, for example, that has a counter and a sink, but maybe also it needs a projector. Let's see if we have any spaces like that. Looks like we have 2 spaces available. It's going to highlight the tags that I've selected to filter and let me know I have 2 spaces available. No more running down to ask questions to try to find the right room, running all over the building to see what's in that space. You can tag them right away, set that up on the front end. The person requesting this event knows automatically which rooms have those assets. They can select it. If they get the green check mark, it's going to tell them the room is available. If it's already being used for another event at the same date and time, it's going to let them know that it's not available and there's a conflict there. So very easy to do. The other thing, this is an honorable mention. A lot of people don't use this, but I happen to love it, is the ability to set up item groups. If you have events that use the same spaces, resources, and services, any combination of those 3, frequently, whether it's funerals, weddings, church gatherings, if they use several different rooms and then you always use the same number of tables, chairs, resources, and maybe the same 3 services, you can create combinations. You can create groupings, and this enables you to have a one-stop shop. That reduces time of trying to remember which items you selected for every event. Big time saver there. Okay, so we've got a space selected. We're going to pop over to resources. The other thing you can do for your resources, you can choose, if you're an admin, you can inventory those. And so this allows the people that are requesting events to go ahead and indicate how many tables and chairs they need. So we can go ahead and put in, we'll put in like 24 tables and chairs for this event. So I can add that right to my event request. No more going back and asking questions about how many are needed. Your facilities team, when they get the setup details for this, they're going to know right away they need to have 24 chairs and 4 8-foot tables ready for this event. There's no dropped communication here. It's a very nice safeguard to put in place to ensure that they have the information they need to do their job effectively and efficiently. Services, again, human level of support here. If you need to bring someone in and have a tech person brought in to make sure they can cover you for this event, you can do that. Okay, so that's going to be very important to them. And then on the setup tab, this is where it gets really magical for the people setting up your spaces and providing the work that they need to for your events to make those successful, because this is where all of those details are going to be included. So you have the ability to assign resources. If you've selected more than one space for your event and you have tables and chairs, you can let your facilities team know exactly where those folding chairs need to go. You can come over here and select the room that they need to be placed in, click save. It's going to automatically assign those 24 folding chairs to that room. Let's go ahead and put our tables there too. Let's remove the atrium from that one. Put those both in C213. So that automatically assigns those resources up here. And then you also have the option to see the space attached to those resources. The other thing you can do is you can add notes. You can choose to add things like, please add trash cans. You guys wouldn't even know, but even trash cans, even the smallest details like putting trash cans in a space, save your facilities team time so they don't have to keep asking questions. You also have the option to create configurations. I love configurations. These are predefined setups that can be built in your advanced settings if you're an admin. And you can describe these configurations. You can add diagrams. It's going to show you exactly what they look like. So someone setting this room up would know exactly how many round tables they need to put up with how many chairs and what it should look like. So it's going to give them all that great information up front. They're going to be equipped with everything they need to help you make your event successful and everybody on your team. So lots of options here. You also see forms. If the person that is approving tech also needs some very specific information, you have the opportunity to attach forms. I call these internal forms. So if you click form, you see that there's an option to put an upload link if you want to have them upload media to a Dropbox. This is really helpful for slideshows, PowerPoint presentations that need to be included with the event. Go ahead and deliver that information to that tech person right from the event creation. Wow, how many emails did we just save going back and forth there? Who's paying for it? A lot of you have budget codes and budget line items that pay specifically for services like tech support or catering services. Maybe your wedding coordinator has a fee. You need to let them know who's paying for that. And you can add an option here to this form and let them know where to pull those funds from, what budget line item to pull those from. And then you can just simply tell them we need AVL and probably there's going to be a slideshow. So they have all that information. They've got their media linked to a Dropbox. They know who's paying for it. And then they know exactly which services they need to provide. So no more running down the tech person to see if they have what they need. You can deliver that to them all at once. Now, when I say that this information needs to be included on the front end of it, a lot of it does. You do have the capability to go back and edit your events once you input those and once they're submitted for approval. Largely, though, a lot of these items like the forms will need to be completed before you can even submit the event for approval. That's a safeguard to help you get all those details squared away at the front end of it.